you want to be successful, you got to find the answers. What's going on, guys? It's Uzziah, your success consultant. And in today's video, I need you to find out the answers to all of the problems that's holding you back in life. There's a really, really important thing that you got to understand if you want to get to the next level, is that life is always going to throw tremendous curveballs at you. And if you don't understand how to be able to get past those obstacles, those setbacks, those failures, those rejections, you're never going to get to the next level. You're always going to stay stuck exactly where you're at. In order for you to be successful, you've got to find the answers. So I want you to think about this. Most of our challenges in life are presented as problems that require answers. Most of the issues that we have right now that's setting us back, it disguises itself as unanswered questions. And it's only up to us to decide how we're going to respond to those questions when they come. Maybe you may have unanswered questions about moving forward in your career. Maybe you have unanswered questions in life about how you're going to move forward concerning your health. Maybe it's your relationships. Maybe it's your finances. Maybe it's you on how you're going to move forward spiritually. There's so many different aspects of life where we find ourselves kind of sometimes at a fork in the road, and you have to make strong decisions. Life's biggest challenges always disguise itself as unanswered questions. So the question is, are you going to be the person that's going to find out the answers? If the answer is yes, then guess what? You've got some work to do. But the reward is going to make it well worth it. If you're not willing to find out the answers to the questions, then your life is never going to move forward. You're never going to be the person to make strong decisions that only successful people can make. So life is not going to reward you with progress. In today's video, I want to give you the top 3 ways to find out the answers to life's most pressing problems. In order for you to find the answers, the first thing that you got to do is you got to be curious, because successful people are extremely curious. Here's something that I want you to understand. You know, most people, when they think about what it takes to become successful, they think about smarts, they think about hard work, they think about college, they think about all these different things. But most people never really think about how all successful people are extremely curious. Think about Steve Jobs right now. Was Steve Jobs comfortable with the information that he knew about technology? When the telephone was out, do you think Steve Jobs was just like, okay, yeah, this is just this telephone. This is how life always is supposed to be? Or did he find himself curious? Did he find himself curious about, well, you know what? Maybe there's going to come a day where technology is going to change how we use phones. Maybe there's going to come a day where technology is going to evolve and society is going to have a different way of listening to music. Society is going to have a different way of doing this task and this task and this task. And all of those curious points were always running through his brain. And that's the real reason why Steve Jobs was Steve Jobs, because he found himself always on the brink of curiosity, and he always was trying to find out more and more and more to be able to advance not only his knowledge, but to be able to give value to the world. People that are very successful are oftentimes very curious because they understand that life is not going to hand the answers to them. They got to go and search it out. They got to go and figure it out. If you just, came out of your mother's womb, you don't have all the answers. Like how Kanye said, you ain't got the answers, Sway. You ain't got the answers. Life is not giving you the answers that you need on how to be able to fix that financial problem, how to be able to fix that health problem, how to be able to fix that relationship problem. So you've got to be curious enough to figure out the top cutting edge solutions to these problems So that way you could be more effective in every role. The most successful people are extremely curious. Even in what I'm doing in running my professional business, every single day, my success is only as good as how curious I am. If I decide that I don't want to learn more, that means that I'm not going to grow more. If I decide that I feel like I know enough, that's literally going to put a ceiling on how much money I make, all of my accomplishments, being able to get anything new done. You got to find yourself more curious. Stop just taking life as it comes. If you don't take anything else out of this video, stop taking life as it comes. Stop just accepting things for however they are in your life, even though you know it's not good. Even though you know it's not where you want it to be. You know that you could do better. You know that you could make more. You know that you could be more, but you've been beaten into this existence where it's just like you just deal with the hand that's dealt to you, never recognizing that you could actually change the cards. So you've got to be more curious in order to change your condition. The second thing that you got to be able to do is you've got to be aware of brick wall syndrome. What is brick wall syndrome? A brick wall syndrome and mentality is when life presents you with a problem, and if you cannot figure out that problem on your first attempt, you don't even attempt to get past that brick wall. So let's say that you decide that you want to be able to be a business owner, and maybe you have this great idea and this great concept, and now you're actually trying to execute it. You're trying to bring it to life. So maybe you decide, well, you know what? I need a website. And you don't know everything that goes into making a website. Life has just presented to you a brick wall. Life has just thrown a curveball at you. And your success is 100% dependent upon how you treat that problem when it's right in front of your face. So most people, what they will do is they'll say, well, you know, since I don't know how to build a website, I guess it's not in the cards for me to have a website. Even though you got all kinds of people all over the world that don't know nothing about technology, but somehow they've got social media accounts going every day. They got websites going every day. They got things where they're making money online, all because of the fact that they had enough sense to find people who would do those things for them on their team, even if they didn't have the gift of using technology. Most people, as soon as they encounter a brick wall, they just turn around in the opposite direction and they go back to the life from whence they came. They just start walking backwards. Oh, well, you know, I guess it's not in the cards for me to be able to make more money because I don't know how, and I really shouldn't learn. Even though your finances is one of the most important parts of your life. Most people, they take whatever is their current health condition, they will look at that condition and view it as a brick wall. They will not say, you know what, let me learn more about my health so that way I can make better health decisions. Your health is important. Am I correct? That's actually one of the factors that's keeping you alive. So it would make a lot of sense for you to be curious in that capacity. You've got to know how to be able to work your way around the brick walls when they come in life, okay? So when you go through this brick wall, because the brick wall is going to come no matter what you do in your life, whether you're talking about business, whether you're talking about growing in your career, whether you're talking about just doing anything on any level to try to achieve some level of greatness, that roadblock is coming. So when that roadblock comes, here's a question. What are you going to do to get past the wall? Are you going to look at the wall and turn around? Or are you going to look at the wall and say, hey, let me go and find a bulldozer to tear this wall down? You look at the wall and say, hey, you know what? Maybe if I go and find a ladder, I could actually climb my way over this wall. In other words, you're finding alternatives whenever you encounter a problem that didn't work based upon just one solution, right? So I'll give you a prime example. Even when it comes to me and my personal business, every single day I'm encountering some type of a brick wall. There's something that may not be working exactly the way that I want it to work, and I have to be extremely relentless about finding another way to get around that issue. Sometimes it may take 5 attempts of finding out 5 alternatives to get past that brick wall. Sometimes it may take 10. Sometimes it may take 100. Thomas Edison said that it took thousands, right? He didn't get discouraged when he found himself up against thousands of brick walls. He just said, I found thousands of ways that didn't work. And that actually got me closer to the solution because I was able to get those wrong ways out of the equation. So I was getting myself actually closer to the right way. That's got to be your mentality. You've got to be able to have the right outlook when it comes to meeting that brick wall. Because like I said, most people in life, the reason why they won't end up achieving a certain level of success or being as accomplished as they themselves would want to be is because of the fact that they shy away from solving big problems or knowing how to conquer big problems. And Elon Musk said it himself, you're going to get paid in direct proportion to the size of the problem that you solve. So if you don't have the mentality, the willingness, the will, the curiosity to know how to overcome a bigger problem in life, you're never going to be rewarded with success. Just one of the truths. Lastly, the third point that I want you to get down out of this video is you got to start developing a mental script. Okay? You got to start developing a mental script in your life when the roadblock and that brick wall inevitably comes. So again, your default response whenever that brick wall comes may be, oh, well, you know what? The brick wall has come in my life. I guess success is not meant for me. That brick wall comes in your life. Oh, you know what? I guess it's just not in the cards and maybe I should quit. What you need to do is you need to start developing a script in your head that actually shows you the process of all of the alternate solutions to find the answers and how you're going to go about finding them. So I give you a prime example. Let's say that I get a brick wall that I'm faced with today. Maybe there's something that I need to do. I don't know how to do it. I might try to do the exact same thing again, because sometimes you just got to knock on the door and keep knocking in the exact same way before the door opens up. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't, right? Sometimes it's a matter where it's just like how they say, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the exact same thing and expecting different results. Sometimes no matter how hard you knock on that door, the door's not going to knock. So in that type of situation, I would say, okay, well, what's the easiest way for me to find an alternate solution? Fortunately, we have Google for this. You can look up forums, chats, articles, all types of things, tutorials, walkthroughs on how other people solved that issue when they encountered the exact same problem, right? Remember how they say in the Bible that there's no temptation that isn't common to man? So there's somebody else that has actually gone through the same problem that you've gone through, and somebody else figured it out. So I'm going to start going on a quest to find that person that's already been where I've been and figured it out. That's going to be the second thing. And if I'm not the person to know how to be able to get that solution going, guess what? I might look for a person to do it for me. I might hire that person. I might do a favor for that person. In exchange, they do a favor for me. I might barter it. I'll have a million different solutions and alternatives to work my way around a problem. And if you want to be successful on any scale, you've got to be able to create your own mental script. Instead of you running into a brick wall and just giving up and quitting on life, right? Because winners aren't quitters. Instead, bam, okay, let's start running that script. What's the first thing that I should do when I encounter this problem? What's the first step? Okay, if that doesn't work, what's the second step? What's the third step? You should have at least 10 different alternatives as a way around this brick wall if it doesn't work. So for one problem, you got a ladder. For one problem, you got a sledgehammer. For one problem, you're running around the wall. For one problem, you got a handful of your homeboys that's boosting you over the wall because they're picking you up and throwing you over the wall. You've got to have all of these different alternate routes figured out, man. And for a lot of you guys, especially in professional spaces, this actually stops you from getting promoted at work, because whether you know it or not, your boss is actively looking to you to see how well you can figure out challenges with limited direction or without having to go back to the boss to find out the answers. So sometimes your boss will throw questions at you knowing that you may not have the answer, but he or she wants to see how innovative, how assertive, how much initiative you're willing to assume to go and figure it out, because it's going to show how resourceful you are. And if you're not willing to do that, the boss is going to see that, and you're going to stay right there at that level, never going to advance because you weren't willing to find the answers. All right? So I want you to leave me a comment. I want you to let me know how you're going to find the answers. Let me know what your script is going to be. I'm curious. What avenues are you going to go through to start finding out the answers in life? Because I guarantee you right now you're being held back by the questions that you can't solve. You got problems in your life. Every person on this planet does. And we're only going to be as good as the size of the problems that we solve. Leave me a comment. Let me know your script. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you've already subscribed, feel free to share this with somebody else that could use it. Be your brother's keeper. And I'll see you on the next video. Take care.